Trade deadline done passed. We about to recap because you already know the rest of the season is about to be a whole wrap. All right, so let's get into everything that kind of has happened. Um, there's a lot to unpack. This has been one of the bigger trade deadlines, I would definitely say, in the past couple of years. Kind of just going into it, some people have been converting their two-way players into a 2-year standard contract. So congrats to like Quentin Post for that happening to him. Ben Simmons, they're looking to end up doing a buyout. The Brooklyn Nets. First, I don't know what Ben Simmons even brings to the table. Him and Joel Embiid have been caking on the money. I don't understand, but Ben Simmons is gaining traction from the Cavaliers, Clippers. Off the bench, I guess he's a good player. You don't even know what he brings. Like, there's genuine, I don't know. And I don't want to keep going into this conversation, but I don't even know what he's going to provide. The other thing is, the Charlotte Hornets are signing Elfrid Payton to a 10-day contract. I remember when he was a starter in the league. So for him to kind of end up doing this, that's wow. Free agent Torrey Craig has agreed to a deal with the Boston Celtics. And you know what? We're about to do this. Let's see if we can just end up going to what we've done before in some other episodes. Let's see. We're going to go to Sham's page. So that's where a lot of the news is. Next one we do have is OKC are converting two-way guard AJ Mitchell to a 2-year, $6 million contract. Again, get your paper. The crazy part about this is $3 million for you were a two-way player and now you're going to the big leagues. Congratulations. That's another one over there. Here's the big graphic that we're going to dive into, because there's a lot of different players that went to a lot of different teams now. One of the first ones we can talk about are the Wizards are sending Marvin Bagley to the Grizzlies as part of the deal. So the deal is Memphis Grizzlies are trading Marcus Smart and 2025 first-round pick to the Wizards in a multi-team deal trade that sends 2 second-round picks to Memphis. They're trying to clear cap space. That is kind of the big thing with all of this. They're trying to clear out a lot of their cap space. Memphis was able to offload some of that, so they will have some space to work with, but also in future years, of course, they talk about like the second apron and various different things. So that's my thing of it, what they're going to try and do there. And so you're going to have, and we'll talk about this in a little bit, Chris Middleton is also on the Wizards. I don't really know what that means. The next one that we do have is Kevin Durant is not getting traded. Shams ended up reporting that. The Pacers are trading James Wiseman and cash to the Toronto Raptors. You know how much a team must not want you if they're trading you in cash? They're like, look, we don't want him, but I know you all don't want to take the contract on its own, so we're going to give you some to just sweeten up the deal. Y'all can just take the money, pay him over there. We just don't want the rest of that contract. Another one is the Clippers are trading Kevin Porter Jr. to Milwaukee Bucks for Marjan Beauchamp. So kudos there. I think it was Kevin Porter Jr. Well, let's see if we can find this out. Pretty sure it was him that they traded. He was on the Rockets. Yes, it was him. I figured. Yeah, Kevin Porter Jr. was on the Rockets. The next one to kind of go into, I talked about Marcus Smart. Another trade was the Atlanta Hawks are trading Cody Zeller in 2028 second-round pick to the Rockets. Another one we have is the Los Angeles Clippers are trading Terrence Mann and Bones Highland to the Atlanta Hawks for Bogdan Bogdanovic and 3 second-round picks. Again, those second-round picks, they might try and either bring them together to end up trading for a player in the future or bring them together and try and get a first-round pick later in a draft for it. So pay attention to that. But the Clippers do have a good, solid bench player. Off of that, the Hawks, I don't really know what they're doing with some of the pieces because they got Karis LeVert, which we'll talk about in a second. They got Karis LeVert, traded away DeAndre Hunter. But now you have Bones Highland and Terrence Mann that are over there. And both of those are solid players that you have. Now going into the other trade. The Atlanta Hawks are trading forward DeAndre Hunter to the Cleveland Cavaliers for Karis LeVert, Gorgie Niang, and 3 second-round picks. It just shows you how big DeAndre Hunter is if you're trading 2 players, 3 second-round picks, and pick swaps for it. So Cavs are in focus on this year win now mode, and they're trying to do whatever it takes. You are able to throw DeAndre Hunter into that starting lineup with Jared. And DeAndre Hunter has been playing very well this year. So you have Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, now DeAndre Hunter at the 3, Evan Mobley, and then Jared Allen. So you have that as your 5 players, which I'm super happy to end up seeing. And you love to end up just seeing this. The next one we have is the Phoenix Suns are trading Yusuf Nurkic and 2026 first-round pick to the Charlotte Hornets for Cody Martin and a 2026 second-round pick. So the big thing with this is Phoenix Suns felt as though that Cody Martin could be a big impact. Yusuf Nurkic, he was a solid player at one point. Pay attention to the Hornets because they're getting these different players. So I'm really curious if that is something that we can kind of see going forward, if the Hornets can end up being a better team. Milwaukee is trading Patrick Baldwin Jr. in cash to San Antonio. The Toronto Raptors are trading Davion Mitchell to the Miami Heat for PJ Tucker as second-round pick in cash. The funny part is he's sticking with 45. Donovan Mitchell is 45. So that's something that we'll end up seeing if people accidentally buy the Miami Heat jersey because they think Donovan Mitchell went there. Another one is Chet Holmgren is supposed to be coming back, which is kind of a big date. That's a kind of a big thing just kind of going forward for them. One of the big trades that a lot of people have talked about was that Lakers trade. So the Lakers are trading Dalton Connect, Cam Reddish. Again, these are more pieces that are going to the Hornets. So you have Yusuf Nurkic, you have Dalton Connect, you have Cam Reddish, you have LaMelo Ball, you have Miles Bridges. They have players. Can you just get some sort of culture, coach, and everything there so that things go well? So the Lakers are trading Dalton Connect, Cam Reddish, a 2031 unprotected first-round pick, and a 2030 pick swap to the Charlotte Hornets for Mark Williams. When I first heard about this, I didn't know who Mark Williams was. But as you start to dive into it, you start to see, when he's healthy, he can be serious. So then on the flip side for the Lakers, you now have LeBron, you have Luka, and you have Mark Williams throwing like a couple pieces here and there. They're in a win now mode. Like they want to be, I would say, a top 4 or 5 seed. You have your coach. You want LeBron only got 1 or 2 more years left in him. And you know he'd love to win one with the Bronny just to kind of go out that way. I personally think that if LeBron won a chip this year, he might retire. So I could really see that happening. The New Orleans Pelicans have traded Brandon Ingram to the Toronto Raptors for Bruce Brown Jr., Kelly Olynyk, 1 first-round pick and 1 second-rounder. Again, this shows you how much they value Brandon Ingram. If it was for Bruce Brown Jr., Kelly Olynyk, a first-round pick, and a second-round pick, we'll see if the Raptors can end up doing anything. I don't even know if Ingram would care to end up being there, if he's going to try and find a way to get out of that. Another one is the Bucks are sending DeLon Wright and cash to the Knicks for Jericho Sims. And this is all a part of like that bigger deal that they did have end up in place. The last couple of ones, Lonzo Ball did get a 2-year contract, with congratulations to him, especially coming off that knee injury. Another one that we'll end up talking about is, I want to talk about this Jimmy deal. So the Miami Heat are finalized. The Miami Heat have traded Jimmy Butler to the Golden State Warriors, Andrew Wiggins, Dennis Schroeder, Kyle Anderson, and a protected first-round pick are going to the Heat. Golden State gets their person. And then on top of that, Dennis Schroeder's headed to Utah. Kyle Anderson is going to Toronto. It really just shows you that, hey, y'all could be traded at any second. You think you got it? No. If you ain't one of them top-tier stars, you are not safe. Golden State Warriors, they ended up doing an extension with Jimmy Butler, $121 million for 2 years. My man is getting $60.5 million a year, getting paid out there. And then the Pelicans are trading Daniel Theis and draft compensation to the OKC Thunder. That's solid. They get another big man. New Orleans was 1.4 above the luxury tax prior to the trade. They are now below. The Theis is an expiring $2.1 million contract. So it's just a 1-year thing. Like, thank you for this. Like, here, take it and go. Another one is the Milwaukee Bucks are trading Chris Middleton, AJ Johnson, and a pick swap to the Washington Wizards for Kyle Kuzma, Patrick Baldwin Jr., and second-round draft compensation. They are really looking at Kyle Kuzma like he is the answer there. I do not think he's going to be the answer for them. I also don't really remember what a solid Kyle Kuzma is, because when you're in Wizards territory, you do not care. You're just here. Get a check, enjoy the city, just do you. You know your team's not going to be good. They haven't been good since Caron Butler, Anton Jameson, Gilbert Arenas, Sean Stevenson. That's the last time they were a decent team. So, I don't know. They also could have used a better picture for Chris Middleton and for Kyle Kuzma for that matter, but that's neither here nor there. We probably talked to this before, but no, we didn't. We talked about the other brother. Philadelphia 76ers are trading Caleb Martin to the Mavericks. So Dallas is sending Quentin Grimes and Philadelphia's 2025 second-round pick back to the Sixers for Martin. So the Mavericks are definitely trying to end up being a team right now. Again, the final one is De'Aaron Fox, Jordan McLaughlin are going to the Spurs. The Kings are getting Zach LaVine, City, Sissoko, 3 first-round picks, 3 second-round picks, which is really good. And then the Bulls are getting Zach Collins, Trey Jones, Kevin Huerter, their own 2025 pick via the San Antonio Spurs. So kind of going back to this. Where is it? Oh, yeah. Okay. Yep. So I get it. So this 2025 Chicago pick is coming right back here, but it's technically going boom, then boom, if anything. So kind of looking into this, the Kings possibly, if they play their cards right, they could win in this in the long run. Because you have Sabonis, you do have DeRozan, you do have Zach LaVine, you have maybe 2 or 3 first-round picks to work with. So they could do something. Will they? No. Hell no. They're just going to be a floating team, whereas the Spurs are looking to end up changing the trajectory of everything over there. You have Fox and Wemby for the future, so you're hoping that that can end up working out. We talked about the Luka trade. That was a big one that we talked about on its own. Of course, I do personally think that AD will be good for the Mavericks if they can end up just focusing, staying healthy. But that's the main thing I wanted to talk about over there. As always, thank you guys for supporting. Continue to tune in because we're trying to clock out 1 to 2 videos almost every day. So we're trying to get videos 5-6 days a week, if anything. Till next time, appreciate it.